I'm Carmen, and I never thought my life would unravel in the shadows of a mysterious club called the Obsidian Room. My marriage to Ethan was crumbling under the weight of unspoken words and cold silences, a love that once burned bright, now reduced to flickering embers. Desperate to feel something, anything. I agreed to step into a world of velvet darkness and whispered secrets with him, hoping to reclaim the spark we'd lost. But as the night unfolded, surrounded by strangers with predatory eyes, I felt the ground shift beneath me in ways I couldn't predict. What did I do in that suffocating room to shatter everything I held dear? Picture this. A quiet evening where the air feels heavier than it should, like it's pressing down on my chest with secrets I haven't yet unraveled. I'm Carmen, 27 years old, and I'm sitting on the edge of my worn-out couch, staring at the flicker of a muted TV screen in our small apartment. The world outside is a distant hum, a reminder of a life I'm not sure I'm living anymore. There's a glass of cheap red wine in my hand, half empty, or maybe half full if I'm trying to fool myself into optimism. But let's be real, I'm not. Not tonight. Not for a while now. I've got this ache inside me, a quiet storm that's been brewing for longer than I care to admit. It's not just the mundane grind of bills piling up or the endless cycle of work and sleep. It's deeper, rawer, like a splinter lodged somewhere I can't reach. I'm married to Ethan, my husband of 4 years, a man who once made my heart race with just a glance across a crowded room. He's still here, physically at least, sprawled out on the recliner across from me, his eyes glued to his phone, oblivious to the tension that's become our unspoken third roommate. We used to talk for hours, laugh over nothing, steal moments in the dark that left us breathless and tangled in sheets. Now, those memories feel like they belong to someone else, a version of us I'm desperate to find again. I take a sip of the wine, letting the bitter taste linger on my tongue as I watch him. Ethan's got this rugged charm, even now, with his unshaven jaw and the way his dark hair falls just a little too long over his forehead. I remember the first time I noticed that, how I wanted to brush it back just to feel the warmth of his skin under my fingertips. These days, though, touching him feels like reaching across a canyon. There are nights, more than I'd like to count, where I lie awake next to him, wondering if he even notices the space between us. It's not just physical, though there's plenty of that too. It's the kind of distance that creeps in when you stop sharing the little things, when you stop asking how the other's day went, when the silence becomes louder than any words. I set the glass down on the coffee table, the clink against the wood sounding sharper in the quiet. My mind wanders to the way things used to be, to the heat of stolen glances, and the thrill of moments we'd carve out just for us. I can still feel the ghost of his hands on me, the way we'd lose ourselves in each other, time slipping away like it didn't matter. We'd turn the world off, let it fade into a blur, and it was just us, wrapped up in a kind of fire that burned away everything else. I miss that. I miss us. But now, it's like we're playing roles in a story I don't fully understand anymore. The morning after that heavy night, I wake up to the same stifling quiet that's become our norm. I'm in the kitchen, the faint smell of burnt toast lingering in the air as I pour coffee into mismatched mugs. The silence between Ethan and me is almost tangible, broken only by the soft clink of ceramic against the countertop. I glance over at him, sitting at the small dining table, his phone already in hand, thumb scrolling mindlessly through whatever's captured his attention. I don't even bother asking what he's looking at, haven't for weeks. Instead, I turn my gaze out the window, where the sky hangs low and gray, mirroring the dull ache in my chest. It's like the world outside is holding its breath, waiting for something to break. I'm stirring sugar into my coffee, the spoon scraping against the mug, when Ethan's voice cuts through the stillness like a knife. "There's a party tonight," he says, not looking up from his screen. "Downtown at this place called the Obsidian Room. Exclusive, private. I think we should go." His tone is casual, but there's a sharpness beneath it, something I can't quite place. I freeze, the spoon still in my hand, and turn to face him. A private party? At a club I've never even heard of? This isn't us. We're not the type to chase after velvet ropes or secret guest lists. I open my mouth to ask why, but before I can, he adds, "Let's see how you act when given freedom." The words drip with a bitter irony that stings, like he's testing me, daring me to react. My stomach twists. What does he mean by that? Freedom from what? From him? From the cage of our routine? I don't know, but the way he says it makes my skin prickle with unease. I stand there, caught off guard, my mind racing with 1,000 questions. Why now? Why this place? Has he been there before without telling me? The Obsidian Room? Even the name sounds like a riddle, something dark and hidden. I've never been anywhere like that, and as far as I know, neither has he. Part of me wants to say no, to retreat back into the safety of our silence, but there's another part, a quieter, hungrier part, that's desperate for something, anything, to shake us out of this numbness. Maybe this is a chance to bridge the gap, to find a spark of what we've lost. Or maybe it's a mistake. But I hear myself agreeing, my voice smaller than I mean it to be. "Okay, let's go." Ethan just nods, his expression unreadable, and the silence creeps back in, heavier now with the weight of what's coming. Hours later, as evening falls, I'm standing in front of our bedroom mirror, slipping into a sleek black dress I haven't touched in years. The fabric clings to me in a way that feels both foreign and familiar, like I'm stepping into a skin I've long forgotten. The mirror reflects a version of me I barely recognize. Sharp lines, nervous eyes, a woman on the edge of something she can't name. Ethan's already dressed, waiting by the door in a dark jacket and jeans, his face still unreadable as he watches me adjust the straps of my dress. There's a flicker of something in his gaze, maybe anticipation, maybe something darker, but it's gone before I can pin it down. We don't speak as we head out into the night, the city lights blurring past us like streaks of neon fire. The Obsidian Room looms ahead, a nondescript building with blacked-out windows and a single unmarked door. My heart thuds in my chest as we approach, the air growing thicker with every step, like it's warning me to turn back. Inside, the atmosphere shifts, heavy with the scent of expensive cologne and something muskier, primal. The main room is dimly lit, all deep reds and blacks, with low velvet couches and shadowed corners that seem to swallow the light. There's a hum of voices, soft and deliberate, and the kind of music that vibrates through your bones, slow and hypnotic. I cling to Ethan's arm, feeling out of place, like a lamb wandering into a den of wolves. My eyes dart around, taking in the faces, sharp, calculating, all watching us with an intensity that makes my skin crawl. I want to ask Ethan if he feels it too, this undercurrent of danger, but before I can, they approach us. 5 older men, each one exuding a different kind of power. Their tailored suits and polished shoes, a stark contrast to the raw menace in their eyes. I don't know their names, don't want to, so I label them in my mind based on the way they carry themselves. The leader, the silent one, the smirker, the watcher, and the charmer. They move with purpose, closing in like they've been expecting us. The leader steps forward first, a tall man with silver hair and eyes that pierce right through me, cold and unyielding. He doesn't look at me, though. His gaze locks on Ethan, and his voice cuts through the haze of the room like a blade. He has to watch, until the end. My stomach drops, a sickening lurch as the words sink in. Watch what? Until the end of what? I flinch, my grip tightening on Ethan's arm, but he doesn't react, not outwardly. His face is a mask, stoic and hard, though I catch a flicker of uncertainty in his eyes, just for a split second. The leader gestures toward a wooden chair in the center of the room, positioned like it's the focal point of some twisted stage. Ethan lets himself be guided there, sitting down without a word, his posture rigid. I'm left standing, exposed, as the other men turn their attention to me. My mind is a storm of confusion and fear, but beneath it, there's something else. A reckless, dangerous curiosity I can't shake. Ethan's voice breaks through my spiraling thoughts, low and raw, barely above a whisper. If you're capable of this, do it, but I need to see. His words hit me like a punch, heavy with a meaning I don't fully grasp. Capable of what? What does he think I'm about to do? I'm frozen, my breath shallow as the charmer steps closer, his presence suffocating. He's all smooth smiles and calculated charm, but there's a sharpness behind it, a hunger. His hand brushes my cheek, light but invasive, then trails down to my shoulder, lingering in a way that makes my skin prickle. I want to pull away, to run, but my feet won't move. The smirker joins him, circling me slowly, his gaze predatory, a smirk playing on his lips like he's enjoying some private joke at my expense. Their movements are deliberate, a dance of control, and I feel like prey caught in a trap I didn't see coming. I steal a glance at Ethan, searching for something, anger, disappointment, or maybe even a hint of understanding, as the weight of what just happened in that dimly lit room at the Obsidian Room settles over me. I'm left standing there, the air thick with a silence that feels like it could crush me. My heart is pounding so hard I'm sure everyone can hear it, but no one moves. The 5 men, those shadowy figures I've named in my mind, step back, their faces a mask of indifference, as if they've just watched a play unfold and are waiting for the curtain to fall. I can feel their eyes on me still, lingering in the background, but they don't say a word. My hands are trembling as I adjust the straps of my black dress, the fabric feeling heavier now, like it's soaked with the shame and desperation of the moment. My legs are weak, barely holding me up, but I force myself to move, to cross the short distance to where Ethan sits in that wooden chair, his posture still rigid, his gaze fixed somewhere beyond me. I stand in front of him, my breath shallow, searching his face for anything, anger, pain, disgust, even a flicker of the love we used to share. But there's nothing I can read, just a wall I can't break through. My voice comes out barely above a whisper, fragile and raw, as I speak first. This was about you. I wanted you to see me again. The words spill out, fragmented and messy, like pieces of a puzzle I'm trying to force together. I tell him how I've felt invisible for so long, like a ghost in our own home, drifting through the days while he looked right through me. I needed him to notice me, to feel something, anything, even if it was hate. I needed to know I still existed to him, that I could still stir something in his heart, no matter how dark or twisted the method. My voice cracks as I admit it, the truth of my desperation laid bare, and I hate how small I sound, how pathetic. But I can't stop now. His eyes finally meet mine, and they're cold, hollow, like I'm looking into a void where the man I married used to be. When he speaks, his voice is low, cutting through me like a blade. I saw, and now I can't unsee it. Those words, they hit harder than I expected, slicing deep into the raw, aching part of me that had hoped for, what? Forgiveness? Understanding? I don't even know anymore. All I know is the weight of what I've done crashes over me like a tidal wave, drowning me in regret and fear. I've crossed a line I can't uncross, played a dangerous game in that room with those men watching, letting things unfold in a way that was meant to shock him awake, but might have shattered us instead. The memory of their hands, their gazes, the unspoken tension, it's all there, burning in my mind. A moment of reckless abandon that I thought would reclaim his attention, but now feels like a betrayal of everything we were. I want to reach out, to touch him, to beg for something I can't name, but my hands stay at my sides, useless and shaking. Behind us, the men remain, silent spectators to this wreckage, their presence a constant reminder of the twisted stage we've just performed on. They don't interfere, don't speak. Just watch like we're part of some cruel experiment they've orchestrated for their own amusement. I can feel the weight of their stares, but I can't look at them. My focus is on Ethan, on the chasm between us that feels wider now than ever before. There's no going back from this, no undoing the choices I made in that haze of desperation and need. The air in the room feels suffocating, like it's pressing in on all sides. And I know we can't stay here. Not with their eyes on us. Not with the echoes of what just happened still hanging in the space. We leave the obsidian room without a word, the cool night air hitting my skin like a slap as we step outside. Ethan walks ahead of me, his strides long and purposeful, not waiting, not looking back. I struggle to keep up, my heels clicking unevenly on the A-week has passed since that night at the obsidian room, and the silence between Ethan and me has grown into something monstrous, a gaping void that swallows every attempt at connection. I've been moving through the days like a shadow, barely existing in our small apartment. The mundane details of life feel like weights dragging me down. Eating cold leftovers alone at the kitchen table while he's in another room. Avoiding the spaces where I might catch a glimpse of him and noticing how he slips out for work before I even open my eyes in the morning. The air in our home is thick with unspoken words, heavy with the aftermath of what I did, what I allowed to happen in that dark, suffocating place. I keep replaying his words from that night, the way they cut so deep. And I wonder if I've lost him for good. Every creak of the floorboards, every distant sound of a door closing, feels like a reminder of the distance that's become our reality. This evening, I come home from a rare outing, a pointless walk to clear my head that did nothing but make me feel more hollow. The apartment is dim, the only light coming from the faint glow of a street lamp sneaking through the blinds. As I step into the kitchen to drop my bag, I freeze. There, on the counter, sits a manila envelope, stark against the worn wood, my name scrawled across it in Ethan's precise, familiar handwriting. My heart plummets, a sickening drop that leaves me dizzy. I know what this is before I even touch it. My fingers hesitate, hovering over the envelope as if delaying the inevitable might change what's inside. But I can't stop myself. I pick it up, the paper rough against my skin, and slide it open with trembling hands. The contents spill out like a gut punch, divorce papers, neatly filled out, his signature already there at the bottom, bold and final. Tucked in with them is a small note, just a few words in his clipped, emotionless tone. You wanted the truth. Here it is. The world tilts. My hands shake so badly that the papers rustle, the sound unnaturally loud in the quiet room. My vision blurs, hot tears welling up and spilling over before I can stop them. I sink to the floor, the cold tile biting into my knees, clutching the documents like they're a lifeline even though they're the opposite. They're the end. My chest heaves, each breath a jagged sob I can't control. His words from that night echo in my mind, clear as if he's standing right here. I saw, and now I can't unsee it. I hear the weight of them now, the absolute certainty in his voice. He meant every syllable, every cutting edge. I thought I was waking him up, forcing him to feel something for me again, but all I did was carve a wound too deep to heal. What happened in that room? The way I let those men close in, the way I surrendered to that moment of reckless need. It wasn't just a desperate act. It was a betrayal, a line crossed that shattered whatever fragile trust remained between us. I call out his name, my voice raw and broken, hoping against hope that he's here, that he'll answer, that we can talk or fight or do anything but this. "Ethan!" I shout again, louder, but there's nothing, just the hollow echo of my own voice bouncing off the walls. He's not home. Maybe he hasn't been for hours. I'm alone with this, with the reality of what I've done crashing over me in waves. Struggling to my feet, I stumble toward our bedroom, the envelope still crumpled in my fist. The door is ajar, and as I push it open, the sight inside steals what little breath I have left. His side of the closet is half empty, hangers bare, a few stray shirts folded and gone. The space where his things used to be is a void, a physical manifestation of the chasm I felt growing all week. He's already started moving out, piece by piece, without a word, without a chance for me to plead or explain or beg. I collapse onto the floor, overwhelmed by the weight of what I've lost. It's been weeks since I found those divorce papers on the kitchen counter. Weeks since I saw Ethan's signature cutting through the last thread of our marriage like a cold, sharp blade. We finalized everything through lawyers, never exchanging a single word directly. Not a call, not a glance, nothing. It's as if we've erased each other from existence, reduced to names on legal documents and memories that sting like open wounds. I've moved out of our old place, leaving behind the beige walls that once held our laughter, our fights, our quiet mornings over coffee. Now, I'm in a small apartment across town, surrounded by stark white walls that feel less like a fresh start and more like a void, a blank slate that mirrors the emptiness I carry inside. I thought a new space would help me breathe easier, but instead, it's just a constant reminder of how much I've lost. I sit on the edge of my new bed most nights, the mattress still stiff and unfamiliar, staring at the ceiling as if it holds answers I can't find anywhere else. The silence here is different, sharper somehow, without even the ghost of Ethan's presence to fill it. I keep turning over that night at the Obsidian Room in my mind, dissecting every moment, every choice. Do I regret what I did? Not entirely, if I'm honest with myself. I needed to break through the numbness that had settled over me like a second skin. I needed to be seen, to feel something real, even if it meant stepping into a darkness I couldn't control. What happened in that room, under the weight of those strangers' gazes, was a desperate act, a way to shatter the glass between Ethan and me. I let myself be pulled into a moment of raw, reckless abandon, a dance of forbidden closeness that I thought would jolt him back to me. But it didn't. It pushed him further away than I ever imagined possible. Still, there's a part of me that aches with regret, not for the act itself, but for the way Ethan couldn't see past it. I wish he could have looked beyond the surface, beyond the shock, to the desperation driving me. I wasn't trying to hurt him. I was screaming for him to notice me, to remember who we were before the silence swallowed us whole. But his words from that night haunt me, playing on a loop in the quiet of this empty apartment. I saw, and now I can't unsee it. I wonder if I misread him all along, if I pushed too far, if I mistook his distance for indifference when maybe it was something else, something I was too blind to see. Did I ever really know him, or was I just clinging to a version of him I wanted to believe in? These questions keep me up, staring into the dark, searching for clarity that never comes. I tried reaching out once, a few days after the papers were signed. I typed out a simple text, my fingers trembling over the screen. "Can we talk? Just once?" I hit send before I could overthink it, my heart pounding as I waited for a response. Minutes turned into hours, then a full day, and nothing. Not a word. That unanswered message was the final nail, the last confirmation that whatever bond we had is severed beyond repair. I deleted the thread after that, as if erasing the evidence could erase the pain. But it didn't. It just left another hollow spot inside me, right next to the one where Ethan used to be. Now I'm trying to piece myself back together, bit by bit. I've taken on new design projects, diving into work as a way to fill the hours, to keep my hands busy and my mind from wandering back to that night. I've started meeting new people too, colleagues, clients, even a few tentative friends. They don't know my story, don't see the cracks beneath the surface, and I'm grateful for that. I smile, I nod. I play the part of someone who's moving forward, but there's always this undercurrent of loss I can't shake. I'm free now, in a way I haven't been in years, unbound from the weight of a marriage that was suffocating us both. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment if you enjoyed this story. This will help us create more engaging stories for you.